Disabilities Issues and Updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living, Abilities in Motion.
Disabilities Issues and Updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living.
North 5th Street in Reading, Pennsylvania. The phone number you can reach us is 610-376-0010. My direct extension is extension 108. Please feel free to contact me via email at tfaulkner@abilitiesinmotion, or again, call that number 610-376-0010. Again, my direct extension is 108. Today, we'd like to dedicate this program to our STARS program, which is a program that has been going on at Abilities in Motion, which started July the 8th, and today is graduation for that class. The program consists of students who are transitioning to achieve realistic success. In this particular program, our young people are learning different things that they need to help them to achieve as they move forward in their lives. I want to thank them for helping me to come up with questions that we can ask our guest, who is Nicole Rhodes, and she's a registered licensed dietitian at Penn State Health St. Joseph here in Reading, Pennsylvania. Welcome, Nicole. It's a pleasure having you on our show. Listen, as I stated, we wanted to dedicate this program to our STARS program, so let's get started. We want to involve our youth as well as their parents. So as a registered dietitian, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us some things that you like to do, what you do here, your job at the hospital. Tell us a little bit, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Sure. I have been at Penn State Health St. Joseph for almost 12 years now. I have various responsibilities, including some outreach like we're doing today, educating our patients, our clients. I also see patients when they're in the hospital, if they're ill, do some counseling as far as teaching them about their diet, if they're not eating well, helping them to eat better, to feel better. So I have a lot of different tasks. Personally, I'm a mom of twin 5-year-old girls, and pretty much my life outside of work revolves around them.
Oh, wonderful. Again, it's so good to have you, and thank you for being a part of our program. Let's get started. As a registered dietitian, what is the message you would like to get across to teens as well as their parents?
During the teenage years, your body's still growing, so it's very important to still maintain a healthy diet. When you're a child, you kind of think those are the years that you're growing because you can physically see a lot of the changes. Once you hit your teenage years, maybe you're not growing as tall or you don't see quite as drastic changes to your body. So a lot of times you don't correlate that you're still growing and your body still needs a lot of the things nutrition-wise that you think of as a child. A lot of teens don't get enough nutrients, especially things like calcium, vitamin D, iron. So to, again, have that well-rounded healthy diet helps you to get those nutrients that you might not be getting enough of. And then also during your teenage years, it's also setting you up for how you're going to have a healthy diet as an adult. So again, getting into some of those good eating habits, watching what you're drinking, exercising. If you're starting to do that as a teenager, it's going to be easier to do those things as an adult.
And I think one of the things that we can actually say is that whatever you do in your teenage years as far as health and diet will follow you into your adult years. So it plays a part in your health even as you become adult. And as you're growing and learning different things about diet and nutrition, it does play a big part in it. So what you learn in teen transitions right into when you're an adult. Don't you believe that?
Absolutely.
Very good, very good. I heard a statement. Healthy eating puts power into everything you do. What rings true to you in this statement as a dietitian?
Food is the fuel for our body. So the similarity that I like to use is as far as like putting gasoline into a car. You want to put good gasoline into your car to make it run well. So you want to do the same thing for your body. You want to give it healthy foods to make sure that your body is at its peak performance as well.
So what you put in is good gasoline. You want to put the high grade in. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Because it'll actually give you more. Our lives today are very busy when it comes to eating. What is the biggest downfall of eating fast food? Everybody wants everything quick, microwave and all of that, fast foods, but what's the downfall of this?
So when it comes to fast food, there's a lot of things out there that are really high calorie, not very nutritious. And even the things that you think that would be healthy, like a salad. Sometimes getting a salad can be over 1,000 calories, and you may not realize it because it's not just the vegetables or the lettuce as far as your salad when it comes from a fast food restaurant. They're going to add, meat and cheese and possibly other things. So sometimes it's even easier to get like a children's meal or the smallest hamburger that you could get. So there's lots of things out there that you assume that are healthy, but probably are not. It's actually better that if you know that you're going to be busy and possibly needing to eat out, try to plan ahead a little bit. Make sure that maybe you have a meal prepared ahead of time that you can reheat, or even making part of your meal and then finishing it the next day. Those are little tricks and tips that can prevent you from having to eat out.
I was thinking of something, and it wasn't one of our questions, but I've seen lately when I go to the market, there's a section for regular fruits and vegetables, and then there's a section that says organic. Is it really a big difference?
So organic just pertains to the way that it's grown, and there are standards set for organic fruits and vegetables. My take on it is, as long as you're eating fruits and vegetables, that's really what it boils down
really
to.
Important.
Organic things can be a little bit more expensive.
Yes.
And for some people, that's not feasible to purchase those types of things. But again, as long as you're eating fruits and vegetables, that's really the key to maintaining a healthy diet.
Thank you so much. One of the questions that really came up in our class with our youth was, is drinking soda really that bad for us?
So soda has a lot of calories, a lot of sugar. If you think of a 20-ounce bottle of soda, that can contain up to 16 teaspoons of sugar. So imagine the little cubes of sugar that you can buy in the grocery store. There's 16 of those. So you really wouldn't eat 16 teaspoons of sugar. So you really shouldn't be drinking 16 teaspoons of sugar either. It just adds a lot of extra calories, and especially if you're trying to, watch what your calorie intake is, if you're trying to maintain your weight, or even in general just watch what you eat. That's not really a healthy choice. You should really be sticking with water or perhaps another low or no calorie drink.
So if you're a person who is a soda drinker and you want to start making changes, how much water is important? How much water should you drink as a person per day, or as a young person? Let's not go with adults. Let's think of our youth. How much water is good for us?
So again, just making that decision to make that change and try to start drinking less soda and more water. That's always a great place to start when you're trying to make like a drastic change. And again, if you're used to drinking, let's say like 3 or 4 cans of soda a day, maybe try to replace 1 can starting off with a glass of water or a bottle of water.
Just making like small changes.
Exactly. And then slowly try to phase out the soda. A lot of people are just looking for something with flavor. So by slicing up some fresh citrus, berries, cucumber, or even adding fresh mint to your water can sometimes give it that little bit of flavor that you're looking for, so it's not just so plain and boring. And if you need to, you can also use some of the flavored waters that are out there. Just watch the artificial sweeteners and things like that. But again, if you're just kind of looking for something that has a little extra flavor and are trying to get away from the soda for the sugar or the calories, that's always a good place to start.
Wonderful. What's the difference between sugar and artificial sweeteners? As young people, should we be using artificial sweeteners?
So sugar is a natural sweetener. There's obviously various forms of sugar, but in general, about a teaspoon of sugar is about 16 calories or so. Artificial sweeteners are things like Equal, Sweet and Low, Splenda. They have no calories, no sugar. You're going to find those in a lot of your diet products or light products. Again, just because no added calories, no sugar. In some instances, those are a good thing, like if you have diabetes or perhaps you're trying to watch your calories, watch your weight. There's a place for the artificial sweeteners. In general, the best advice is just to try to limit them. The Food and Drug Administration does have set limits for each artificial sweetener, but most of those are more teaspoons or more packets than you would, most people would typically consume. So in small amounts, they're pretty much recognized as safe. Again, my general advice is just to try to limit them. They are also much sweeter than regular sugar, so hopefully you shouldn't need as much of those. And in some instances, some research has said, that people, because it is sweeter than sugar, that some people tend to like those a little bit more, and it's a little bit harder to try to get away from them. So again, my best general advice is just to try to limit them as a teenager, as an adult, no matter what age you are.
I was thinking of something when we talked about, I'm hooked on soda, which means I'm a soda drinker. And I am really trying, I told our young people, I'm really trying to make small differences. I'm really trying to do better at that. But one of the things I like about soda is the carbonation part. What do you think about like the sparkling waters, and are those as good for you, or does it make a difference?
So some of the sparkling waters that are out there do have some of those artificial sweeteners in. And again, if you're trying to get away from something that has a lot of sugar, a lot of calories, like the soda, that would be a good alternative if you wanted to try something like that.
So I'm okay with the carbonated sparkling water.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see how it goes. A big thing that I'm actually seeing, and it is concerning me, not only being a parent, but even a grandparent. I have grandsons. And I noticed that young people are really drinking energy drinks. Should parents be concerned?
So the energy drinks obviously contain caffeine, which is why young people are drinking them, especially if you're feeling tired or sluggish. They're going towards the energy drinks. The downfall is that there's no regulation with what goes into the energy drinks. And we're seeing that sometimes young people are becoming ill, even needing to go to the emergency room because of the amount of energy drinks that they're drinking. And again, it depends on which energy drink, but some of them can contain anywhere from 1 to 3 times the amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee.
Wow.
It can really be a significant amount of caffeine. And then the caffeine in excess leads to some heart problems, perhaps, the anxiety or jitteriness. Again, if you're drinking large amounts. Also, with some of the energy drinks, they may contain a lot of sugar, so it's no better than drinking a bottle of soda. So you're getting, again, a lot of calories, a lot of sugar from the energy drinks. So I would say, it is something for parents to be aware of, something to talk to your kids about. Again, if the reasoning is that you're feeling sleepy or tired, that you want to try to reinforce those good healthy eating habits, as well as getting enough sleep, which is usually the reason why we're feeling like we need caffeine, is that perhaps your teenager is not getting enough sleep. So really, again, trying to reinforce the good sleep habits as well as eating habits.
Thank you so much for that. It really, really makes me think. I saw something this week on Good Morning America, and I asked one of our students that were part of the class, well, why do you drink energy drinks? And they said to me, well, I got to be able to keep up with my social media. I think that we have to deal with that issue too, because a lot of our young people are up late at night, which means they're getting lack of sleep, which means they drink an energy drink so that they're not so sleepy. So it could be a problem if we continue to do it. Or as parents and family, we should address those issues too concerning our young people drinking those energy drinks. Our parents always encourage us, and I remember saying this to my children when they were young, eat your fruits and vegetables. Eat fruits and vegetables. But doesn't fruit have sugar? Does this mean that fruit is bad for me?
So the sugar that's in fruit is a natural sugar, which is different than the sugar that we were talking about when we talk about like soda and the energy drinks. So there's a big difference between the two sugars. So in general, most people don't get enough fruits and vegetables, especially vegetables. So again, that's one thing that I usually talk to my patients about getting a little bit more of. Because there's just so many good health benefits to having those. So as far as a good versus bad, there's no such thing as a good or bad fruit or vegetable. You really should try to eat a good variety of them. If you think of the different colors that are found in our fruits and vegetables, an easy way to think of it is just try to eat the rainbow, eat a variety of different fruits, vegetables, eat a variety of different colors. And again, most people don't get enough. So try to have, at least 1 or 2 servings of fruits, maybe 2 or 3 servings of vegetables a day, just to ensure that you're getting enough.
Wonderful. We've talked about soda, we've talked about energy drinks, we've talked about fruits and vegetables. Let's discuss food quantities, how much we eat. As a dietitian, what is considered a healthy portion?
So a portion is going to vary depending on what food you're eating. When we talk about having a meal, going more towards making your plate look like the My Plate that the government has put out. So meaning like a quarter of your plate should be some type of lean protein, a quarter of your plate should be some type of whole grain, and then half of your plate should be fruits and or vegetables. You throw in an 8-ounce glass of low-fat milk or something like that. That would give you all of your food groups for one of your larger meals. As far as particular things, particular foods, your portion size is going to vary. Easy things to think of would be like for your meat, a 3-ounce portion would be about the size of the palm of your hand, or a deck of cards. A cup size would be about the size of a woman's fist. So therefore, a half cup portion would be about half of a fist. A tablespoon would be about the size of the tip of your thumb to like your first joint of your thumb. And then when it comes to, for example, like fruit, a small piece of fruit would be about the size of a tennis ball. So just kind of some common things to kind of help you try to look at your portion sizes a little bit differently.
Wonderful. I wanted to ask you, Nicole, you said in the beginning that you stated that you were a mother of twins. Do you kind of help them with portion sizes now? Do you do things that would kind of help them, or do you just kind of divvy out what you feel is a good portion size for them? We're going to put you on the spot.
So I know what a portion size is, so I do try to stick to that for them. Obviously, if they ask for more fruits and vegetables, I never turn them down. We always try to have a fruit and vegetable at every meal. and they're in daycare right now. So fortunately, our daycare is really big on that as well, which
Good.
is helpful with reinforcing
Yes.
everything that I'm doing at home. And soon they'll be going to school also. So I know, with the government laws that the portion sizes will remain in effect once they go to school too. But yes,
sure.
at home I do practice what I preach.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. How can our young viewers get started on healthy eating? Not only our young viewers, I mean, even when I was listening to the class and they were discussing different things about healthy eating, please know, viewers, it was going in my mind and really causing me myself to think at this particular age what I can do better. So how can we get them started with healthy eating?
So one of the things that I tell everybody is that you have to start somewhere and pick something that you want to change. Hopefully something that we talked about today has kind of sparked your interest,
yes.
or brought something to your attention that you want to change. So I would start there. Those are the easy things to change because in some way you're motivated to do that. So set a goal, whether it's, like we said, to cut out some of the sugary drinks or all of them, to eat more fruits and vegetables. Set a goal for yourself and work towards meeting that goal.
Wonderful.
Once you've set your goal and reached it, set another one. And in the end, every change that you make is going to then create your end goal of that healthy diet. Even if it takes you a little bit longer to reach your goal, or you're having difficulty with it, don't give up on it. And any change that you make is always going to be for the better. So again, just start with something that you want to change.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Well, in this 30-minute segment, we cannot tell it all, but you certainly have given us all, young, old, indifferent, something to think about. And we appreciate you sharing this information with us. In closing today, we definitely want to let our viewers know and remind them that Abilities in Motion is celebrating their 30th anniversary for being the company. The gala is Giving Thanks, the annual gala, and it's actually going to be held October the 9th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the DoubleTree. If you're interested, please check it out on the website or give us a call at Abilities in Motion. I want to thank you again, STAR students, for all that you allowed us to be a part of, and thank you for these wonderful questions that I could ask Nicole. We want to thank you again for coming. Enjoy your day. Take it down.
Disabilities, issues, and updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living.